Hey folks, it's Sunday morning and I feel like yakking at you for just a few minutes here. It is really cold in Omaha. Alright. I think we're at 8 degrees right. Well, no, we're not. You can you see? It's 1 degree below zero. I can't see it's 1 degree below zero. Cold. Cold, cold, cold. This will be a mix. I do want to do a review, but I have things on my mind. So, Bloodcow, I'm going to review your album, but I'll probably say a lot of other things. I don't know, but I think I have a lot. I think I have some things to say. So, I'll start like this, and then you can share this if you like with people, because I just played a show 2 nights ago here in Omaha with the band Agronomo. And we opened up for Big Al's band and this local band, Bloodcow. And this is their latest album, Crystals and Lasers. I've been familiar with Bloodcow for a while now. I think I saw them once at a show. But this was my first time sharing a bill with them. And these guys are stoner metal. And I was surprised at how good this is. Not that the band isn't good, but it's like, okay, it's like, the whole idea of local versus international in my mind is just really gone, because the quality of music coming from my local friends and fellow musicians is just it's world class. And to me, this Bloodcow is a perfect example. This is really, I love it. I don't pay attention to lyrics, so I haven't got that yet. I'm sure there's a whole more level of enjoyment to get from paying attention to what they're bellowing about. But the music rocks nicely, good riffs. When the riffs hit, it's like, yeah, those are good riffs. Good guitar sounds. And is it Matt, the lead singer? I think his name is Matt. We talked. Love his voice. It's not the typical. Matter of fact, it's almost. I wish I can think of. It'll come to me, but his vibrato reminds me of someone from the way in the past, completely unrelated to rock, and that to me is very cool. So, the first and foremost thing I want to do in this video is shout out to Bloodcow and recommend this album. This is new. They just put this out in 2015, self-release, no colored vinyl or anything, just good, well-pressed black vinyl. I like the cover graphics. The painting of the band, it's very, it's pretty cool, you know. And so I just want to pass on the word about Bloodcow and share some love for this band. They're good. Yeah, I'm confident of my opinion about music, not for others, but for myself. In other words, like when people say, you know, tell me something that they think is really good, and I listen to it, and, you know, I decide if it's good. I don't think it's good just because they said it. You know, once I hear it, I decide. And, yeah, Bloodcow is good. Good stuff, guys. Okay. On another note, I will talk about a couple more records I've been listening to. I've been getting comments and also these notifications through my smartphone as well as email and this is starting to happen fairly regular, at least 2 or 3 times a week now, that people are requesting to you know, have a message to message me to talk, you know, and I'm not ready to go there, you know, because I'm just not ready to go there yet, okay? I am happy, very happy that people find value in what I have to say. Perhaps I don't know if they want to discuss things deeper. I can imagine some people really want to, but I'm not ready to do it. I'm not ready to get on here and do a live chat and stuff. You know, I just am really wary. I'm really wary, okay? If I meet you in person, we can talk all day. And I've been having great conversations. Matter of fact, last night I had another show that I played at, a Martin Luther King tribute, where I did a public debut of 2 of the songs I've recorded with Arion Lawrence Williams. we performed them for the first time live. And it went pretty good, you know. I mean, my music is there, so my part is down, you know. But I do intend to do some performing with Ariana, and we're going to have to rehearse, you know. As a longtime performer and punk, I always bring up punk because spontaneity is really important, as well as improv. I can just jump on stage and vibe with what happens and make something happen, which I did. But Ariana and I are going to have to practice and get an act going to make it really work. It was enjoyable though. So for folks that messaging me here on Facebook, wanted to talk on Skype, etc., I appreciate that you want to talk more. I don't know exactly why, but I'm taking it as a compliment that somehow something's resonating. And I'll say this much. If something that is said here makes sense and unleashes things in you, go with it, you know, explore it. One of the things that I'm noticing by being out more right now publicly, because I have to be with the mentoring and the amount of gigs I've been doing recently, but mainly through the mentoring, having to meet so many parents and deal with the schools and watching, observing. I'm a big observer. One of the things, and I started to comment about this in the mentoring program, and it's no diss to any individual, but it's something I'm noticing very much across the board, is a complete disconnect. Here's the example. We've had multiple rehearsals for this upcoming student talent show, which happens tomorrow night at a local high school that I've been helping to coordinate. And all the adults are constantly insisting the kids do this, do that, focus, respect. We need it quiet now. And then the adults will be in the back of the room just going on with their business, oblivious to the fact that they're not doing what they're expecting the children to do. And if we don't lead by example, we don't lead. This is something that is a holdover from my childhood teaching and observation. It was one of the most valuable things my late uncle taught me. He said, people say a lot of things, but you watch what they do, then you'll find out what's really going on. And he was so right. And so I've been bringing this up to the other mentors. And thankfully, once it's brought to their attention, it's like, oops, yeah, you're right. And so, and yesterday's rehearsal, once that tone was established, things really, really got going. It's not an ego thing that I say, look what I did. No, it's more like, this just makes sense. Someone who recognizes this stuff needs to bring it up so that it can be carried on. And I think that it's one of the things that's really impacted the way the world is going, is that, and I do blame the revolution of the 60s somewhat, when there was a change in how we did things, a relaxing of things. We lost some good stuff in there, when parents, a lot of parents, ended up trying to just be good friend, their child's best friend, or too afraid to make the child uncomfortable to teach them. And I say that, you know, the way that the world is going is the result of that. We don't do what we say, and when we do correct others, we just expect them to correct themselves. We don't correct ourselves, which is how we've ended up with the political situation being so unbelievably horrible to someone with their eyes open. You know, the latest shenanigans with the Republicans and Trump and those cheerleaders, that is that's an adult doing that. That's a guy that wants to be, if it isn't more obvious now, I'll speak about him, then I'll speak about the others, because I'm not partisan. Both parties are worthlessly corrupt. Isn't it more obvious that what we're seeing is Donald Trump as the big, chubby, rich bully at the playground, just having his way? That's all that's going on with him. All the others, we can go down the line and I can tell you why these people aren't really representing the good interests of the people. Isn't it just fucking obvious? Unless you're completely asleep, or you just love the fantasy, or your programming is so, they have programmed you so well that reality, that's your reality. Obviously, this is the case for a lot of people because we got a lot of mainstream people who are buying into this junk and buying into the fear-mongering and the hate and the division. And when you bring it up to them, they get mad at you. The last album that I played and had to keep, I played the second side again and again. Or is it the fourth side? Was it the third side? Janelle Monáe's Arch Android. Once again, there is a Bowie connection. As soon as I heard the psychedelic, futuristic shit going on this album, it invokes Bowie among many others. But Bowie, okay? One more thing on Brother Bowie, because I'm just going to tell you, the more that time goes on and the little conversations I have, I just have to just tell the truth. He really was very influential. I used to say when I was younger, who is my hero, who is my role model? I said Peter Gabriel, and he was. There was an aspect of the way that Peter Gabriel carried himself in the band Genesis and what he seemed to be about that unlocked. He helped me to claim my own personal dignity as well as David Bowie. David Bowie was more conflicting because I tried to come out in the 20s and I hated the gay world. It was just, oh my God, this ain't me. But it was a part of me I needed to find out about. David Bowie represented for me the need to know the true nature of who I am. What is this about? I'm glad I got through it, you know what I'm saying? But that had a lot to do with why I was conflicted about liking Bowie, and mostly it was because I was concerned about what other people thought. Isn't that sad that our lives are so affected by what we think others are thinking, when in fact we have nothing to say about what other people think, and what does it really matter? What they're thinking is over there in their brain. Then it's not here in my house or in my brain. So I'm supposed to live my life. They can think whatever they want. Bowie helped me to get there. And in watching old interviews, I've been watching a ton, okay? I am affected, and I'll get over this when I get over it. But I love how over the years, Bowie was very honest and also tactful in general about dealing with boneheaded interviewers who just want to ask the same stupid questions or even condescend to Bowie, to talk to him as though he's a caricature, not a human being. And and in that sense, he's even more so of a hero because he's always said, in his own way, what you're doing is bullshit, and you don't know me, and you're just, this is bullshit. And he'd call him every time in his own way. Some ways more bluntly than others, always in a way that, well, probably takes a little bit of intelligence to catch it, Great man, great man, great man. Okay, I've talked 15 minutes already. The main mission of this is check out Bloodcow, okay? Hope things get better, in general in 2016. We need some good things to happen. We need some good things to happen. I'm not the only one, but losing David Bowie and Lemmy and a few other folks, but especially David Bowie and Lemmy, the world is just a little bit more out of balance and a little bit darker and weirder, and that sucks. So we need to do something about that.